Fountotos. And who, Peter? Peter.
Cool. So Nigel, Lamont is the one that's on there.
I'm on. I can say howdy doody. Yeah. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mollymook here in New South Wales at the Shoalhaven Shire. We've got a lovely still but overcast morning for you with an all New South Wales Northern Beaches affair. We got the Lamont and Cauvier in pink, and in the yellow are the Fountotos brothers. Nigel has the underskins on in the pink, and his partner Billy's in the hat, pumping the gums already. Great set. Goes down, chases it down nicely. The Fountotos, but just puts it long of the baseline. Got a cracking little morning and a cracking big day for you. So we're going to be rolling our way through the sands of the Shoalhaven Shire. 6-7 the scoreline. And a driving ball down on that cross-court angle as teams change ends 7-all. Make that 8-7. 8-6-7. Do you know which Fountotos is Fountotos?
That's like, well, 15 years ago, Stan.
Double.
Nigel chucks one down on cross court, wins another point for the boys in magenta. As George Fountotos loses out on his service run. If you're trying to tell the difference between the two, much like myself, George is sporting the knee brace. And Peter is not, therefore a picture of health. Great swing from Nigel. I've been readily informed that he was a high-level player back in his day. Shouldn't sell him too short. He's still cracking balls pretty hard and high out here on centre court this morning. But Nigel Lamont is not lamenting his opportunity here this morning. Not only can he hang and bang, he can also high roll rainbow style We had a little sprinkle of showers last night, but no sun and no sprinkles this morning is not going to bring us any rainbows. But that was the only one we're going to see this morning. Here on centre court, we're all tied up. It's tense out here. It's also tens. 10 all. Tech time out now, 11:10, as we'll go for a little bit of a wander and a chat. Talking about all the facts about the cracks and the man on the sand, and we will be back in just a moment. Welcome back to centre court here at the Shoalhaven Shire, located down on Mollymook Beach. Absolutely stunning little cove that we're set up on. The New South Wales South Coast. And a nice turn from young Billy Cauvier. Got quite the French connection out here, taking on another European sounding name. I won't pretend to know or hazard a guess, just in case I offend anybody. Big block from Nigel Lamont on Peter Fountotos. Mollymook is a delightful little place. You can camp, you can Airbnb, you can hotel motel, hotter than here, if you know your hip-hop lyrics. I'm somewhat joined, I think, by another European connection, Marty Cauvier, who is also still alive in the competition. Marty, morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, even.
Guten Morgen. Yeah,
darling.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually officially a referee.
Really?
Now on
Right.
the game. But this morning, VA was so kind and sorting 2 refs out, so I was a little bit pushed away.
Well,
pushed towards you.
Yeah, well, we thank VA for all their efforts in not only putting on the event, but also making it run quite smoothly. You're an athlete. You're a long-time exponent of the game on the tour. How do you find the VA, keep it nice, experience?
Look, I'm always glad if people actually call me an athlete. That is not common.
Sorry, we just got
That's
to...
right. So now, look, I'm glad seeing it year by year sort of like growing again, which is good. It has been in a pretty good spot in the past. Which is, I think now 9 years ago when I had my first national tour, and it was pretty epic. But sort of like went into a struggling time. Oh, great defense there by the Fountotos. And
flying Jackie Chan dig, but couldn't get it. Peter Fountotos and George lose out on that point as they change ends. And the pairing of Lamont and Cauvier have tied things up 14 all. Marty, you were saying that 9 years ago you were pumping out your first national tour, and we're still going strong here. Do you feel as old as you don't look.
Look, I think living in Canberra means you're not exposed to the sun that much. So I was lucky.
Yeah.
I was lucky to keep
But
that
socially,
very young look.
socially, that would age you terribly, right?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Adjusted to all the craziness of the Australian, culture.
Outback.
The outback.
No, we kid, we joke, we jest. We love our ACT component and constituents.
So yeah, we have like 2 New South Wales teams here playing against each other.
Have you come up against these guys before at all?
Yes, I have.
Yep.
I've played against the Fountotos, also actually against Nigel and Billy. I'm not sure if in that combination though, with
Ooh.
Nigel and Billy, but
Lift.
I saw the pause.
A carry, a lift, a catch, a throw.
Sometimes he keeps it a little bit long in there.
Yep.
No, I just saw a moment.
But you can tell like he's just clarifying
Yeah,
and hopefully adjusted a little bit.
which is all fine. Our first referee, Kevin Newen, is the man on the stand, and he's got all the facts about the cracks. And let's be honest, he's got the whistle, so we respect him.
He's doing a great job.
He is.
Quite often, yeah.
We do love our first referees up here, and obviously our seconds. Grimsy down there, he's often in the stand, but we usually save him for the big shows. He's got his own dance moves and cult following.
He's quite a legend, isn't he?
Yeah. Had to talk him off the ledge to start an OnlyFans, but here he is. Quite a still morning. How do you find the conditions out here, Marty? Is it deep sand, soft sand, good sand?
No, it's quite deep sand. Yesterday, just before the game started, I tried to do a jump surf, and I terribly missed that. The sand monster literally holded me down.
Oh, you missed the ball. You didn't miss the court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the court. Yeah, I missed the ball. I was not able to jump up. So, like seeing those athletes, even here in that first F2 game, going up that high is just incredible. It just shows how much athleticism is all over the place here, which is great.
Well, it's interesting you touch on that. Like, I can personally say I almost love it when I see people of your stature and athleticism
Not getting up.
fail miserably and dismally, because it gives us all hope.
That's
I
all
look
I'm
at the top
trying,
level of athleticism and I go, I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean that's
At your worst.
That's always what I try. I always try to include everyone from all the way up to all the way down. So
You're a man of the people.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We've got Billy Cauvier back to the service line. He just gave us the stink eye as he comes back. He's got his game face on. They do find themselves 2 points in arrears, though. Good defensive up. What can he do on the dig? Bit tight, bit close.
Oh,
net infringement. But that was by Cauvier, and that brings up set point for the Fountotos brothers.
I'm actually a bit surprised, or not surprised. The qualifiers are pretty good. But yeah, Fountotos unfortunately missed their chance yesterday to make it to the main draw, and they were quite disappointed, understandably. So I thought I'm going to see them on main draw. So I'm glad seeing them waking up early and doing actually their job and getting, well, not the first set done yet, but they are on a good way there.
You'll learn very quickly that there's a thing called the commentator's curse.
Yes, yeah, no, I heard that quite often.
Yeah.
That's why I never listen to you guys.
If you're just joining us, we're down here at Mollymook watching an all Northern Beaches affair. I'm joined by Marty Kalfa. He's an absolute legend and a superstar, almost coming up 10 years on the tour. And he's not actually German. It's just an early morning voice he puts on just to entertain the sparse viewership we have. And that's the end of the first set. 21-18, going the way of the boys in yellow, the Fountotos brothers, Peter and George, in an all Northern Beaches affair, as I touched on here in New South Wales at the Shoalhaven Shire Sands of Mollymook.
Leave it. Hopefully it'll find its way back eventually. Ready to go, guys? Yeah. Yeah, just thank you.
How's the angle to start things off from the young Fountotos brothers? That was Peter. And I am fully apologetic of the pronunciation of any of these last names, but I'm going to go as phonetic as possible. So
Yeah, maybe we should just skip them. It's Billy, Nigel,
just Billy,
and
Joel.
brothers.
Billy Joel, sure. I've just misspoken and
Got
entered
it. Just
tag the line. Couple of checks. Have you played at Mollymook before, Marty?
I don't even think I have been here before. I
Yeah.
think I've been to Aladadas, just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
On one of the few weekends, I did spend sort of around the ACT area.
Great swing. You're known for your road trips, and your car setup looks cracking with your rooftop tent and your
Well, I made you known to that now.
yeah, with your generic brand fridge in the back. We can't mention on YouTube just in case we get sponsorship withdrawals. But so you've been to other beaches in the Shoalhaven Shire, not to play, just to visit and.
Yeah, look, I mean, I do have friends occasionally also outside of
volleyball, yeah.
Now I'm thinking of they also were in the volleyball community. Damn it!
Man, friends, not opponents.
Yeah, yeah. That's already a very rare occasion, having friends and not just opponents. But yeah, no. Yeah, look around here. It's so beautiful. There's so many beautiful areas down here. So you go from Canberra down to Batman's Bay, and you literally take any turn north or south, and just cracking area. Yeah, north of us, Jarvis Bay, very well known, beautiful spot. Yeah, you should go there.
I should.
You should get a rooftop tent.
I will.
You will.
My wife is not listening. Alrighty, back to the action. We've got a 4-2 score line going the way to Peter and George, the lads in yellow. Oh, great swing, heavy swing. Dealt with nicely from George in defense as they put that free ball over. What can the boys in pink do? Not too much. Tables have turned, and a nice little shoot shot from Peter short of the defender.
Very, very smart play here. Good defense, but they couldn't really set up in the first goal, and literally just played it safe over, knowing that they can defend again and set themselves up. And this is exactly what happened.
They didn't let the occasion or the excitement of the great defensive up get to them, and they did it nicely. Yeah, very nicely. So we'll go for a line serve. Picking on Nigel at the moment, but he's a very smart. He's got nous, Nigel. He's got good nous.
All-rounder, a very good all-rounder. Doesn't look like much action, but there's a lot of precision behind it. Coming from the non-athlete.
Yeah, just so we're all clear that was just broken English. He doesn't look like it's much of an action. Not that he doesn't look like much.
All right, fair enough. It doesn't look like much.
Yeah.
Maybe that works too. Yeah.
He doesn't have a threatening presence. Oh, well, even that's not nice. All right, so back over the top of the back of the block and puts the brothers back into the sixes. 6-3 double point deficit in the second set. Early days, but they do lead 1-0. That's going to be Peter with the service honours. Sends it short, drops over the top, and Nigel's just out of reach and grabbing the hip there, maybe showing his age. I can say that because I am of age as well.
So that means you can say it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's nice
Billy,
wrist.
well done.
How do you find that? Shaping up middle of court and then just snapping the top of the wrist up left top corner.
Even like Billy has been like over the years like all-time crafty player, and I'm always scared of playing against him. Like to be absolutely frank, I've lost games against Billy, and he's doing always like a really good job of putting the opponents under a good pressure. So highly respect of him.
That's great. It's good to hear, but you've just experienced the commentator's curse. You served the fault, so.
Great. Love it. So can I commentate my own game?
Yeah. We'll put a roaming mic on. Oh, nice little drop snap over the top. Retreating blocker. Couldn't quite defend that one up, George.
Is it actually on the 10? Oh, I see it. Yeah. Nor can I. Yeah. It's fine. Okay, there's just a little divot there, just in the sand. Yeah, legend. Thank you. Yeah, it's just up there. That's right. Leave it. Oh, or not. That's where it is.
Yeah, Billy and Nigel on the way back into the game, which is good. Billy just with a beautiful cut shot. Let's see if he can deliver on the serve too.
Shot straight there. Oh, he's got it. What a great shot. And we're going to... Oh, not quite. I thought we might have had a replay then. Oh, this might be the point of the match, Marty. What can the Fountotos brothers do on that setup?
Oh.
Hang and bang.
Well done. What a rally.
That was Rafa. That was a rally much more deserving of an 8 a.m. time slot with a vacant hill.
Oh, yeah.
That needed pump up, crowd cheering, some sort of brass instrument.
Well, that's what we are here for.
Yeah.
Hey!
All right. No, that was an absolutely ripping point, and very well deserved of Peter and George to take the
Both
biscuits.
could have. I mean, that defense from Bill and Nigel here was just absolutely mint. Again, just couldn't really put the pressure straight over. Oh, easy point giving away. 10-6.
Maybe still lamenting that previous point from Lamont. That's the type of stuff that people tune in for. Yeah. And we do appreciate anybody tuning in to the YouTube broadcast and channel we've got going here, thanks to Volleyball Australia at Oz Volley. And that ball going deep, corner, past the block, over the top of the shoulder and dropping in of the defender. Centimetre perfect from
Again, like
Nigel.
Yeah, he has done multiple of them during the game and really hits that spot quite well, which is good.
He certainly knows the 8x8 out here, doesn't he?
Absolutely does.
Oh, not quite on that diving forehand, essentially. Speaking of the sand, Marty, you said you had the sand monster grab you a couple of times yesterday. You primed and prepared for that today? Change your technique at all, or is there a difference in your movement patterns?
I think the sand monster is very, very strong here, so I'm not sure if I have that power. I give it always a go and try to escape it. But
Well, respect the sand monster.
I think that's what I'm doing by saying it's super strong. So, no, it will be around. And that's just something you have to live with. And it's amazing. What is really cool is actually if you dive for ball, like it squeaks so much that you actually think it's like you just make emergency brake with the tires.
Speaking of putting the brakes on, the clamps just went down on that block. Woo, big one. Now tell us a little bit about your partner. Who are you playing with this weekend? Because you've chopped and changed a couple of times recently.
Who's it this time? No, so it's Maddie Baylor.
Yeah, back to your regular.
Yeah, well, look, we started sort of like Cobram was our second event, playing together, and it worked so far quite well. He's a very, very consistent player, very good, very strong. He's very similar to my old partner, Georgios, which I certainly miss, but I'm very stoked playing with Maddie and seeing sort of like how easily we click out there. It's a sense, yeah.
You even had you touched on Cobram as your second event together, but you had some great success up there, taking out the number one seeds in a thrilling three-setter. You are undefeated against Chris and Paul.
Yeah, we are. Look, certainly a great start, right? Like full partnership coming up that way, and taking on those units. It's amazing. It's certainly I wouldn't have minded if we lose it. We just played very well in there, and I always say it certainly has to do with a lot of luck we had in that game. Someone said, well, you can't have an hour of luck, so you certainly did something right there. But like I know them; they can adjust. They will play very different to us against us next time. And but yeah, no, certainly that was a great success. But
well, as the saying goes, the harder you work, the luckier you get. So you must have done something right. Nice work.
But yeah, like unfortunately, we couldn't make it in the next game, which I think that was really the sort of like disappointing part, and shows us of how new we are and have to clean up certain things, to really get to the steady state.
As a steady state has joined us on court as another timeout, just after the tech timeout. So I'm just wondering if something might have happened to one of the athletes out there. Only a 2-point deficit now to the Fountotos brothers. There's a big swing from Nigel, but looked like they called the timeout. They trail, they just had the tech timeout and hit a huge winner. So maybe they just need a little bit more of a break.
Yeah, I mean, no one is stretching or sort of holding anything, so that's a good sign at least that they
We-
seem to feel all
We
right.
did see Peter in the previous time, or that tech timeout, grab the TheraBand out and do some rotator cuff work, and he hasn't sat down yet. So, oh no, that was George, I'm afraid. Well, everybody looks happy and healthy, and we're coming back out now. So, get on with it.
And it's good seeing Billy and Nigel definitely coming back and still developing a very close game here, and might even take the lead here in a second.
What's Nigel got for us on serve? Picking his target, but his target might want to change because that was a huge swing from George. Straight down cross court. Good time out for those boys. They lead by 3 points now. It's going to be a handy lead here in the mid stages of the second set. They lead 1-0. Can they capitalise on the lead, or with just a few points in arrears but time to do some damage, can the men in magenta do some damage and take this to a third and deciding set? 2 ball, 1 ball, scramble ball. Oh, how's the scramble? Oh, it's like breakfast. So much scramble out there.
Putting the baking across on top of it, right?
Nice.
Well, that's the volleyball how I like it.
They made the court small. There's not much room out there.
That's right, yeah.
We got it. Yeah. Something about tomatoes. 4-point lead. Raced away. That's the problem with some of these games. You find yourself in touch, and then it just takes a couple of points to... Snap back.
Absolutely.
Like a New Era hat.
That's what I mean. Like, you can't really adjust to Nigel. Just really crafty there. Like, I mean, he was in a position to hit that even line.
Yeah, you
what do you
thought
want to do there?
all the angles were covered from from 2 defenders, and then he's just put one where they weren't. It's a bold strategy. Nice retreating chicken wing. Great set through the middle. Very crafty from Billy. But still on the ropes. Peter and George putting another one in the sand. They race away to 5-point lead.
Yeah, they've got one.
Soon. Nice short roll shot. Peter and George putting, well, that was Peter at that stage, but giving Nigel some of his own medicine.
Certainly correct, you are. I mean, you know, like, has played the entire time a very, like, powerful game, and changing near the speed was very good.
Bringing the power back. Nigel, once again, Lamont.
Well, he's giving them the pill as well, yeah?
Well,
Medicine.
Just depends on what the daily recommended dosage is, but no chance of ODing out here. The game seems to be ebbing and flowing with, you know, power game and short game, roll game, defense, power, vault. But do you find that when you play, the game ebbs and flows naturally, or are you trying to take control of that and just put a little bit of pressure on how you see fit?
Well, again, like, I, as a sort of not the best athlete, I'm being forced. My body forces me to sort of, like, go up and down.
Speaking of up and down,
I was
bloody hell, Peter's just like a yo-yo at the front there. 1 ball over, hit. 1 ball over, hit. Joust, win, done. 18-13, back out to that 5-point buffer. Nice hands, good read. and an inside-out pop roll, which I'm not even sure exists, but it went out, so it didn't matter. Great set. Good defensive position, but Nigel couldn't quite manage to control that one, and we've got only just a couple of points away now as Peter heads back to the baseline, interacting with our voice of the game courtside, Benny Abbott. Cut shot is absolutely centimetre perfect. Nigel slicing and dicing like a French chef.
And that's like, yeah, as you mentioned, like this up and down, like you have that in all those games. I mean, literally, beach volleyball isn't really a big difference of chess here. And I love seeing literally both teams bringing out all the skills to succeed.
They're certainly all on show there. That was perfect. Perfect played point. Kept his opponents at essentially arm's length, metaphorically, and keeping them at arm's length, they've got themselves match point. Can we see jump spin to win? Nah. And that will do it. The boys in yellow, Peter Fountotos and George Fountotos, take out this match. An all New South Wales affair here on centre court at Mollymook. And next up, I'm not quite sure who's up next. However, you, Marty, will be up next with Matabella taking on Isaac Carraher and Mark Nicolaides, who found themselves in the Cobram final for the first time. And how are you going to see that match go?
Oh, it will be very interesting. It's
obviously your way.
It is beautiful. It's a good match up of them, right? Like they're working very well together. Look, scrambled volleyball. That's what we have to do, I guess. Again, let's see.
Knowing that Isaac and Mark are watching this, who are you going to pick on?
I might keep that a little bit for me.
All right.
We'll figure that out. But even this game here coming up, super exciting. Those Queensland boys have done an amazing job already in Cobram. And yeah, looking forward to see a little bit of like good volleyball game happening here against the #1 team.
Speaking of number ones, obviously Paul and Chris are going to be flexing their #1 muscles against the boys in green from Queensland, as you mentioned. But if I've ever seen more of a flex from a #1 seed sporting that mustache from Chris McHugh, I'll eat my hat. It's phenomenal, and he's only grown it in a week. Yeah. It's like Ned Flanders.
Bloody hell, yeah. I don't know where that just came from. I don't know if...
I've only just seen it.
If there's a new thing that now all the ARS boys sort of like starting to grow. Paul is maybe also like 2 weeks in. You can't tell?
Nah, Paul's about 26 years in. You still can't tell. Is it... You say that the facial hair might be an AIS thing, but Tommy Hodges with that sort of Clark Gable classic Hollywood look. Maybe not the hair anymore, but
he has been already stunning, right?
Oh.
But now he's just that god.
It adds to him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh well, I'm looking forward to see him playing too.
Yeah, we might have to stop that conversation just in case we get pulled from from YouTube for any broadcast infringements. But yeah, you're right. These boys are sporting their Tour Leader shirts, a new thing that Volleyball Australia's put into to place here, just to let the people out there know watching just who's the big boys and the big girls out here, who's boss.
I put them nice and black, huh? So you can't. You don't know.
Yeah, classy.
They're hiding.
Classic.
Yeah. They might be the sand monsters. You don't know.
Well, Marty, we wish you all the best. Looks like you got a pretty delicious breakfast and you got a big game coming up. So all the best against Isaac and Mark, and you and Marty and Maddie do the good stuff.
Thanks, Jono. Catch up.